Hello, welcome back. A video about my, at least for the last 6, 7, 8 month favorite music genre, Krautrock. But not an easy video, quite difficult video, because what I do today is I compare some of those Krautrock giants, holy grails, against their reissue counterparts. Why not easy? Because when you do a comparison, you don't know the outcome, and I was quite afraid that the originals are superior in a way that makes the reissue look really bad, and that would be quite problematic, because the records I talk about today are really difficult to get, extremely difficult to get in a very good condition, and so could have happened that this comparison is pointless in a way that it doesn't matter how superior the original is compared to the reissue, because in the most cases the reissue might be the only option. So I did my listening, and it was quite an intense and long listening. I now compare five Krautrock classics. I compare Guru Guru, Ashra Temple, Collective, Can, and Tangerine Dream. And yeah, let's see how do the reissues stand up to the original. Let's start with an iconic record from the Ohr label, Guru Guru. Extremely difficult to get. The UFO, wonderful record, Krautrock classic, in a really perfect condition, totally difficult to get. Wonderful, important Krautrock record. I have here the reissue, also in a gatefold jacket, and they did it on shiny, beautiful blue vinyl. What they did, they did the label in black and white. This might have been due to legal reasons. Maybe you are not allowed to use the original Ohr label, I don't know, but they choose on this blue the black and white. The jackets are the comparison between, it's difficult to show on, this is the original, this is the reissue. The colors on the original are way more beautiful. The yellow is a little bit too green. It's here, it's more, it's sharper, it's better. But hey, come on, it's the jacket. For me, it's important, but you can live with it. When you compare those two records, the freshness, the punch, the details goes to the original, but not in a way where it would be fair to say the reissue is not good. This is a very reasonable, nice reissue, which is wonderful that it's out there so that everybody can get into this wonderful album. So this is a very decent one. The vinyl is flat, relatively silent, not as silent as the vinyl from the original, I have to say, but still very good. An okay reissue. So great that it's out there, great that people can get into this Krautrock classic. So this reissue doesn't win against the original, but it's still a winner. Now we get into yeah, absolute killer stuff now. So difficult to get, and once more, I probably have mentioned it, I will mention it again. very, very important identification mark for this record. We're talking Ashra Temple here in this wonderful jacket. Probably most of you have seen it. And when you want to buy, and this is so hard to get and so difficult to get nowadays, please look for two things. First, look for the number. That it's only 1 5, not 5 5, which they did quite soon after. Here you go. See, it only has 1 5. It's 56013. And the same goes for the record, which makes it even more complicated and more difficult to get. You also have a number on the label, and it's also only 1 5, not 2. So what you need to have a true, real first pressing is you have to have only 5 on the label of the record and on the jacket. And then you have something quite special, which is more and more difficult to get. Here I have the reissue, and what the author did, this you can open. They did that on the reissue too, which is of course wonderful. And a little letdown is the quality, the printing quality of this ear. It's way more sharper and better on the originals, but hey, come on, okay. But I just wanted to mention it. When it comes to the sound of the record, the original is way better than the reissue. We have this blanket effect here, off and on. We have it. The original is way fresher, way more soundstage, more dynamic. The usual stuff when a record is way better. You have that here, and when it comes to this record, those details are really, really important when it comes to this krautrock classic or music record classic in general. But then again, now we are at a point where it's good that we have a reissue out there so that you can get into the music, because the original is nowadays quite far out there. Wow, almost impossible to get. So once more, great that it's out there, beautiful. Then a record which is maybe the least famous one, but for sure an absolute highlight, and that's why I put it into this video. I want to talk about this. A wonderful musical experience is Collective on the Brain label. Brilliant, spheric, cosmic, krautrock, unbelievable great sounding record. Here you have the original on the Brain label. Wow, try to get into this. This is rock music at its very, very best. Also comes in a gatefold jacket, and they made this little gimmick with the stripes that you can put them in. So quite something funny, quite something special. Also a quite difficult to get album, especially with the stripes. And what I love about, they did an amazing job on the recreation of the jacket. They didn't recreate, maybe also for legal reasons, the label. They put it on blue vinyl, and this is of course wonderful. They also put in this stripe thing on this sheet. You can take them out and put them in. So they recreated this too, which is of course wonderful that they did it. And the quality of the reissue is very, very good. Very, very good. Of course, again, the original is a little bit darker, more vinylish, more pronounced, deeper. But the reissue, they did a very, very, very good job on this one when it comes to the jacket and the sound of the record. So this is a wonderful highlight when it comes to Krautrock reissues. Highly, highly recommended. So cool that they did it in this quality. Great job, great job. The next one is Tangerine Dream. We're again back to the Ohr label. And here is my original. You can see here is a little balloon. That's how they did it with the very first pressing. We have a gatefold jacket. And here is the reissue, which has a bad jacket. I hope you can. The recreation of the jacket here is not good. The original is way, way better. They didn't do a good job on this one, in my opinion. Also with the label, they decided to give it this label, but they did something interesting. They put it out on 45 RPM. They did 500 copies of it, and the sound is really, really good. The record sounds really, really good, quite close to the original, which is, of course, when it comes to an important album like the first Tangerine Dream album. I don't need to talk much about Tangerine Dream in this video. I can imagine you probably, most of you know them. Great job on the reissue. Terrible job on the jacket for whatever reason. That is the Tangerine Dream. And now, of course, oh no, wait, another important thing, because I have here something. This is the very, very, very early second pressing, which doesn't have the window for the balloon, and I put that into the comparison too. And also the early second pressing is slightly superior to the reissue, which also might be a consideration for some of you, because those early second pressings are sometimes way easier to get. This is still not a cheap record, but way less expensive than the original. So the second pressing might be an alternative for you. And why do I have a second pressing? Because I ordered the first pressing at Discogs. Of course, I didn't order a second pressing at the time, but I got this one. I asked the guy, where is the window? Because the first pressing has a window. The answer was, which window? And I said, the window for the balloon. The second answer came and it was, which balloon? And I said, okay. So, and this is the reason why I have a nice second pressing. Although the intention was quite different. Okay, but now let's get into a very important, fantastic album. Can Tagomago, original first pressing, and the reissue of Can Tagomago. Came out on the United Records label. The label on the reissue is quite different for whatever reason. Here is the label of the reissue. And this reissue, in my opinion, is a big disappointment. Very noisy vinyl. It lost a lot of the punch and magic of the original. This record, the original, sounds magically. It's one of my best sounding records. It's unbelievable. It gets more and more expensive. Of course, Damo Suzuki died, which put them back into focus. That might be a reason, but for now, at the moment, Can has disappeared here in this area on the record fairs. It's just not there. And the more important is that we get a decent and good reissue. This reissue, in my opinion, is not good. I didn't like it. It has a noisy vinyl. It has lost a lot of the magic of the original, which is of course a sad thing, a disappointing thing, and I really hope that that changes soon, that they give them, when it comes to the reissue, the love such an important album deserves. So that's my take on the Can reissues, but overall I am very relieved to say that the reissues of those 5 records I've compared for this video. I will go on. I have quite some other reissues where I also have the originals. So that's a relief, that's a positive thing, because as I said at the beginning, Krautrock is getting more and more and more popular, is getting more and more into demand. And so it's important that people have access to those records. I will do another part, I will do more comparison of Krautrock classics. If you like it, I hope you do. And that leaves me just to say thank you for your time. I hope to see you on the next one. Bye.